everybody, welcome to episode 11, which is technically season 2 because we decided to do a first season and then a second season. So welcome to season 2, episode 1, aka episode 11 of Gen 80 Talks. And today we're going to be talking about deal breakers.
Yeah, deal breakers. Very important. I think everybody needs to know what their deal breakers are. If you don't know your deal breakers, then you need to
stay tuned.
Figure them out. Yeah, stay tuned. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to Gen 80 Talks with myself, Hatz, and my wonderful co-host, Anahi.
Hi, thank you. In this podcast, we're going to be tackling different topics that have to do with life, success, failures, and everything in between. We're going to be talking about relationship, love, family, careers, etc., and all the challenges that we face in this life that we're living. So stay tuned, subscribe, and join the conversation.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode.
So,
deal breakers.
Episode 11, deal breakers. And before...
No, episode 1, season 2.
Oh my God, yes.
We're going to do it like Netflix.
I'm getting all agitated about that.
No stress.
Okay, episode 1, season 2 of Gen 80 Talks. And at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the podcast, season 1, we were talking about concepts that were important and relevant for us and that we wanted to share with you guys. We talk a lot about worthiness, self-worth, love, success, burnout, and all these things that have been really relevant in our journey as millennials, older millennials, in the world. And then now we want to talk about more things that we are facing every day. So we were discussing last week over lunch, and we were talking about like deal breakers in general. So in relationships, in romantic relationship, in friendships, in work, in many things. So let's talk deal breakers, Mr. Hatz.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
What, my eyebrows?
Yeah, doing that.
Okay, so apparently...
No, that wasn't a deal breaker. It's kind of funny. But no, deal breakers are really important. I think those are the kind of things you shouldn't compromise on.
Yeah.
100%.
Our boundaries.
Yeah, they are the boundaries.
Yeah.
And so we could call them boundaries that you need to set for yourself. And going forward, you need to be aware of those. And if you're not sure what your deal breakers are, you need to start thinking to yourself, what are my deal breakers?
Yeah. So
what are your deal breakers?
Okay, so...
As an example.
In romantic love, my deal breakers are,
Put you on
I
the
have
spot.
so many. Yeah, you put me on the spot. Okay, so you have the more external ones, like the more, let's say, shallow, right? Superficial ones, right?
Okay.
So my deal breakers is someone that is too skinny because I'm bigger and I will get very self-conscious.
Yep, so that rules me out.
So
okay.
I'm saying small, like you're super tall.
Yeah, okay. Carry on.
Anyway, people that is close-minded are a huge deal breaker in anything, in romantic relationship particularly, but also in friendship. Because first of all, if you have been with me for 15 seconds, you know that I have a very small filter when it comes to expressing my opinions. And I need to be with people that will take that and that will respect my opinions and the way I see the world.
Yeah.
So a huge deal breaker is someone who says, I'm not political, or, I just don't like feminism because feminism is hating men, because then I will get really angry and then I will hate on you, even though it has nothing to do with that, I hate racism, so that's a huge deal breaker. If a person is so full of white fragility or any type of fragility that they cannot discuss racism with an open-minded, that's like, I cannot talk to you. And then physically, I don't know. I have like deal makers. Deal makers are like...
Yeah, but today's about deal breakers.
Okay,
yeah.
So I'm not going to say what I like. I will say what I don't like. Dishonesty. I think that to me, it's a lot about energy. So obviously, I don't like skinny guys because, again, I'm bigger and I'm like, I lift and stuff.
So that's, you have your preferences.
My type.
They're your
my
preferences, your type. Yeah.
And then again, the vibe. I like, especially in a romantic partner, someone that I can feel comfortable to be 100% me. And that I feel that they're doing the same. Sometimes you meet people that you feel that they're a little bit shady.
Yes.
That's a massive deal breaker for me. Like, if I don't feel that I can trust you, really, I'm going to be guarded and I'm going to be like,
But surely that's pretty much...
For everyone? Yeah. Okay.
Like you don't want to be with somebody who's hiding something from you all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Oh, another deal breaker, dogma. If you're too dogmatic, whether it's about your religion or your diet or whatever, I don't like you. Also, people who don't read, like
Explain that to me, the dogma one.
dogmatic. So if you are super caught up on the shape of things and you're not willing to open your mind. So for example, I'm Catholic and you're Muslim, right? So if you were all like, well, Islam is the only way to salvation and blah, 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 and I don't care what you have to say. Or you are Christian and you're like, Jesus was the only one and only savior and the rest of the world will burn in hell. I cannot talk to you. And dogma on food also pisses the fuck out of me. So if you are dogmatic about my diet is better than your diet, I'm not even gonna go there.
So you need open-minded people.
Yes.
I mean, open-minded to an extent where you have the space to have a two-way communication.
Yes.
You know, on
Yeah.
stuff without them belittling your thoughts or your beliefs or anything like that.
Another deal breaker. What's it called when you're talking down to someone? It's
Belittling.
Like, no, there's another word.
Condescending.
Condescending.
Yeah.
Or mansplaining.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with mansplaining.
There's a lot of wrong in mansplaining.
No, but then that's where your open-mindedness comes in. You're like,
no, because mansplaining is that you're assuming that because I'm a woman, I don't know. That's mansplaining.
No,
that is mansplaining.
No.
That is mansplaining.
I just, what is there women's-splaining?
No, because you guys do it to us.
And women don't do it to men?
No, but what I mean is that men tend to be like very, let me just explain something. And they don't even check in whether you know or not.
Okay, but there's
I get that a lot in the gym. And I'm like,
let me be honest. I try to break things down, right?
but that's not mansplaining.
No, I try to, okay, well, maybe, I mean, I'm a man and I explain, so I mansplain.
No. Mansplaining is when men tend to be super condescending to women, assuming that because they're women, they don't know. That is mansplaining.
Like, give me an example of how somebody would mansplain something.
You are in the gym and you are preparing to lift your really heavy deadlift and a guy comes and try to change your weight because they think that it is too heavy for you. Or you are in a restaurant on a date. True fact, that happened on one of my first dates in Venezuela. And the guy is like, so what would you like to eat? And I said, I would like a steak. And the guy said, don't you mean a salad? And I'm like, no, I mean a steak. And then the guy said, okay, I'm sure you want your steak well done. And I'm like, no, medium rare. And the guy is like, you need to understand something, sweetie. Medium rare is going to be very bloody. And then I'm like, you need to understand something, sweetie. I don't give a fuck. Give me my medium rare steak. That is mansplaining.
Okay. I mean, I thought mansplaining was more like, oh, no, that's not how you do this. You need to do it like this.
Exactly.
This, yeah?
It's pissing off. It's basically saying, I know better because I have a penis, which you don't. See?
Yeah.
Those are my deal breakers.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I get that. But I mean, look. There's no harm in saying, I have.
Do you need any help?
I have another way of doing that. Maybe you can think about it this way, and then let them have the option to do the way they want to do it.
But that's not mansplaining. That's being a kind human.
Okay.
Which you are.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm not going to lie. I probably have mansplained before in my life, but there's no harm in somebody saying to me, it's fine. I'll do it this way, or but you need the other person to reciprocate because sometimes a person might mansplain, but they don't intend to do it intentionally. They don't have the intention to be like that. They're not that kind of person. All it needs is for somebody to say back to them, it's fine, or give them some feedback. And then that person might change. Okay. But don't just assume that because somebody mansplains,
I'm sorry,
they're always a mansplainer.
It is one of my deal breakers. Also another deal breaker.
That's understandable.
Food. If you don't like food, I cannot like you. And that actually goes for romantic partners, friends, in the world, people. You need to like food. Food is my love language. It's true.
Yeah. Food is amazing. I love food.
Okay. So now, Hattie.
I need to eat more so I can be less thin and then maybe I have a chance.
I already said you are like 1 meter, you're like 35 centimeters taller than me. So I just don't like small guys because I'm big. I'm not tall. I'm wide.
You're not short.
I am short. I'm 163.
Okay. Well, that's shorter than me. Right.
Anyone is shorter than you. You're like 195.
I have been the shortest person. I have been, fun fact, as you say, fun fact. I have been the shortest person in the room before.
In Holland? In Denmark?
No, it was in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of giant people did you hang out with?
I was trialing out for the Great Britain handball team, and I went there thinking I'd be one of the tallest, and I walked in, and I was one of the shortest. I was shocked. There were about 20 people there.
Okay.
I was shocked.
Now,
yes,
Mr. Hattie.
Deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
Deal
Break it
breakers,
up.
right.
Let's see.
I'll tell you one of the things I've learned through my experiences is one of the key things that I think was a deal breaker for me, or will be a deal breaker for me, or should be a deal breaker for me, should have been, was the way. So this is from a relationship perspective. If a girl that I'm going to be with has a bad relationship with her parents, that's a massive deal breaker for me, because I feel that if you don't have a good relationship, calm relationship, understanding relationship, then something's not right, and that then kind of bears like hallmarks of how things could be between you in the future, because eventually you're going to have, I mean, I'm not saying that I would be the parent of that girl, but I'm in a position of responsibility for both of us. And at some points I'm going to want the best for both of us. And it's just the way of how you deal with somebody saying, I think it's better you do it that way. Just like your parents would say to you, oh, it's probably better you do it that way. It's how you deal with those conversations that you may not be happy with, right? And that stems from how you have your relationship with your family. Now, me growing up with my dad, it was always arguments. We were always arguing. But now, as we've grown older, I still have that respect for my dad, despite not agreeing with a lot of the things that he used to say to me. But I still respect him. I still hug him. I still give him a kiss.
And you're a very good son. You are always paying attention to them, which is, you know what? I will add that to my deal breaker list. I think that if especially with romantic partners, if the person that I'm with is not respectful and loving and attached to his family, it's going to be really hard for me because I'm super attached to mine.
Well, exactly.
And I love that. I'm another deal breaker for me. People that don't like other people. Because I'm a people person.
So that was another thing, is that you know, it's very important for me. I'm the sort of person that will talk to anyone, regardless of where I am, anytime. I'll always say hello, good morning, how are you? Some people get really annoyed by that. Believe me. Some people will be like, why do you talk to all these people for? Why don't you just let them be? Like, no, I want to say hello, good morning, how are you? Thank you for your help. Thank you for your efforts, blah, blah, blah. Even if it's for like an extra 10 seconds, I am a people's person, and that person needs to be a people person too. They don't necessarily have to go around, doing jazz hands over. Hey, everybody, look at me. How are you today? Blah blah blah. No,
jazz hands.
But they need to be courteous with people. They need to be open to talking to people, random people, all that kind of stuff. That's very important for me. And if they can't stand people, that's a problem for me. I mean, it's a deal breaker. I mean, it could have previously it was kind of things, I can get over it. I can be the people person and they don't have to be the people person. But it's a problem when you're together if that person is always like, oh, come on already. Like, hurry up. Like, when you have that feeling inside you, that's not a nice thing to have. You know? So that's another thing. Professionally, one of the things that you don't get to do professionally is see how a company, let's say, works with their people before you move to that company. Yeah. So if at all possible, and a piece of advice is if anybody gets the chance to request to spend a day there or in the company just to see how things are going, to get an idea of how things are, or to speak to somebody who's already in that company just to get an idea, it's really important, because eventually you're going to be in that company and the last thing you want is to have a negative feeling towards how things are being run there. So
this is a deal breaker for employment.
This is for employment. Yeah, okay. This is for employment.
Okay.
And I guess those are the key things for me at the moment. I mean, friendship-wise, if you're sharing an apartment with people, you need to have your boundaries. You need to be clear, right? This is my limit. Maybe I can squeeze, a few extra things, I can accept. But after this point, sorry, I can't deal with this, and this is where I put my foot down. If you live with people, those are the kind of things you need to set your boundaries regardless. And boundaries mean your deal breakers. Past that point, it's like very difficult for you to accept and see. And then you need to make decisions about what you want to do. And lately I've been doing a lot of cutting things out of my life, because I've realized that these things don't bring value to me, and they're just a burden. They're a burden or they're negative on me. So in order for me to rid myself from that weight of constantly thinking, oh, well, this, that, I just realized that doesn't resonate with me, and therefore I have to cut cut it from my life, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it be anything, it can be people in your life, it can be companies in your life, it can be relationships, it can be food, you know. You have to listen to yourself, listen to what your body is telling you, listen to what your mind is telling you, and take action. And you are the only one that can take action.
Yeah.
People can't take action for you. So
I love that you said that, because, for example, for me, lately, with all the social justice movement in the US and in the UK, in the world, actually, and all these shift towards becoming like conscious consumers of everything, like social media, products, etc. I think that one of my biggest deal breaker is to put my money in companies with integrity. Like, if I'm not gonna burn out everything that I own from before, like everything that I own that was fast fashion or whatever, I'm not gonna just burn it out. But if I can stop buying from these companies, if I can stop giving my money to organizations, corporations that to me are not ethically aligned with what I believe in and with the world that I wanna create with my actions, then that is a new deal breaker for me. Like, as much as I love CrossFit, when the whole thing blew up with Greg Glassman being, first of all, a twat, but also like, sexually harassing women and being completely racist and horrendous, one of my biggest awareness was like, oh fuck, does this mean that I'm going to stop doing CrossFit, that I'm going to stop supporting this organization? Because it's ultimately an organization, right? And I actually was quite aligned. I was like, no, well, I already paid for my membership in the gym. The money's already gone, but I wouldn't pay it again if I can stop myself, because I don't want to support an organization that to me goes against my values. The same thing with fast fashion. Like, I used to buy occasionally from Zara or Bershka or whatever, which is Inditex, which is a massive, massive fast fashion corporation. And now, after reading and educating myself about the cost of fast fashion in the world, how much pollution it generates, how many landfills are full of their old collections that never made it to the consumers, how much oppression the workers in the factories in Bangladesh, in Thailand, and in different places have, I'm like, okay, so I'm not giving you your money anymore. Like, these days, I'm finding myself more and more aware of where my money is going to. For example, one of my favorite brands from all times is Carolina Herrera. She's Venezuelan, and she moved to New York many, many years ago, and she has an amazing brand and blah, blah, blah. And I always love her. And then I saw an interview where they asked her if she would dress Melania Trump. And she was like, of course.
She would what?
Dress Melania Trump. Donald Trump's wife.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm not giving you any more of my money.
No, but why though?
Because it's unethical. Like, we're talking about Melania and Donald Trump represent a lot of what is wrong in the society right now. You know, they are elitists, they're capitalists.
Have you seen them together? I mean, I don't
give a fuck. She's married to him, and because she's married to him, because she doesn't take a stance against him, she's perpetuating that. She's supporting him.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So why would I give my money to a brand that, first of all, they don't need my money, but even if that was the case, you know, I'm not going to give you my money. And lately, I'm even been doing that on Instagram. So when I'm, part of my self-care these days has been unfollow brands, accounts, influencers, and people that I'm like, why am I following you if half of what you say pisses the fuck out of me?
Yeah,
like, why am I here?
Well, there's two. But that's one thing I was about to say also, is I've recently started unfollowing people on social media.
I still follow you though.
Well, I still follow you too. Don't worry. But no, sometimes in order to better yourself, you need to see the other opinion, right? You need to, if you want to, feed on information to keep your mind stimulated and to carry on developing yourself in your thought trail or what you think. Sometimes you need to know what the other opinion is. Otherwise, if you're fully focused on what you do and what you agree on, you'll never know what the competition is doing. Yeah.
That's a yes, except when it comes to ethics and morals. I have my set of like my ethics and my morals and my values say that there are things that are inherently wrong: racism, caging children in the borders, separating family. So
why would you be following an account that cages children on the border?
Anyone that supports Trump, it's supporting ICE. If you support ICE, you support kids in cages in the borders in the US. As a Latina, I cannot stand for that shit. So when we're talking about deal breakers, it's not just for romantic relationships and who you're dating and your friends.
It can be morals and values too.
Yeah.
What you stand for. Yeah.
Is what you stand for, is the companies that you support with your money, is the people that you support with your, with your following on social media or whatever, the music that you consume, it's everything that it's everything.
It's the things that you can accept, and the things that you cannot accept, and the things that shape you as a person. You have a character, you have a certain profile. People know you as the person that likes this or likes that. So therefore, you're not going to be feeding yourself with stuff that goes against that.
I think it's like like deal breakers are the way that we put in place the boundaries that support that are integrity, right? Integrity is when what we think, how we feel, and how we behave is all aligned. So by establishing our deal breakers and our boundaries, we can then live in full integrity. Because, for example, again, going back to the example of fashion, right? So if I say that I care about the oppressed, if I say that I want a more just and equal society, but I'm still buying fast fashion constantly, even though I know some people can only afford fast fashion. So I'm not saying it from a position of judgment, but like something that is how I can do my part. And if I continue supporting brands that are supporting values that are not in alignment with mine, then I'm not living in integrity. Yeah. Like for example, for me, again,
it's like the saying that goes, and I have this saying is, accept for others what you would accept for yourself. If you don't accept something for yourself, if you wouldn't accept it for yourself, then you shouldn't accept it for others. So
yes, I know, because I don't know what others' journey is. I'm saying
no. I mean things like, for example, with the whole fashion thing, you don't believe
fast fashion.
Sweatshops, right?
Yeah.
Would you be happy if you were working in a sweatshop?
No, but okay, but this is one thing when we go into that. Because there's a when it comes to fast fashion and a lot of cheap brands, there's a duality there that we need to consider. On one hand is I live in a position of privilege where I can afford not to buy fast fashion and still be okay. I can afford expensive brands, right? Okay. I can afford the time to research other options, right? Some people that are oppressed can only afford goods that have been done in this way. And this is part of the bullshit of capitalism. So for me, I will not give my money to brands that are not aligned with me and my values. However, I will not judge those who do, because each person has their own journey. Yeah, okay. And like, for example, in the UK, some people can only afford Primark. You know that Primark is cheap because someone is not getting paid fairly. Like, the end. There's someone somewhere who's getting screwed over for you to be able to own a £3 pair of jeans. It has to be, because there's no other way in the world that could be possible. However, I can choose not to buy Primark and say, I'm going to save, I'm going to have less stuff, but maybe with more ethical brands, and still say each consumer has their own journey, because there's people in many parts of the world that if they don't consume fast fashion, they don't have any access to clothes at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And those working there don't have access to money to feed their family.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so for example, I used to be super dogmatic with McDonald's. I used to be like, McDonald's is the worst, or fast food is the worst, and it's shit. I will still say that. However, I also know that for some families in the US, in the UK, in many places in the world, fast food is the only way that they can bring food every single day on the table, because it's cheap. And they need calories. Like the other day I was looking in Facebook, there was a video of a lady making a soup out of reheated fries from McDonald's, right? And she was making it. And yes, like a potato soup. A lot of the comments from the people were like, oh, how could she do this? How could she do that? This is disgusting, blah, blah, blah.
She probably has a reason for it, but
this is the thing. See it. This is the reason. My kids and I ate McDonald's yesterday. I have some McDonald's left over. I don't have any money. This is an example. I'm making an example.
Oh, okay. I was like, where was my invite?
No.
Anyway, go on. Carry on.
Like, I'm a single mom with 4 kids. I work 2 jobs. We had McDonald's as a treat yesterday. There were some leftover fries. I have no money to buy food today. But if I can make this last longer, I can feed them today. Poor people, poverty is one of the most disempowering things people go through. And then you make decisions that are not the same. It's very nice for me, living in a really lovely place, to say, McDonald's is the worst. I would never give that to my kids. Fine, fair enough. I'm very lucky that way. But for some mothers, that is the only way they're going to bring calories into their children.
Things need to be put into perspective.
Exactly.
Essentially.
So basically, define your deal breakers and know that you're not better than anyone because your deal breakers are more or higher than your neighbor, because you don't know each person's journey.
Struggles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that day on that post that I'm telling you on Facebook, my comment was like, as someone who grew up in poverty in Venezuela with a single mom, my mom would have found a way to use the leftover fries because it meant she didn't have to worry about paying for another meal. In my house, we never threw food. We will make, on Saturday, she will make like a leftovers omelette where she will put everything that was on the fridge. She'll mix it together with some eggs, and that will be our meal. Because we didn't have a lot of food, a lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
So you define your deal breakers in relationships, in friendships, in brands,
in society,
in
in
everything,
life. Yeah.
and let others do their own shit, because each of us have our own journey.
Yeah.
However, let's just do a fun deal breaker. Let's do a physical deal breaker for you. Come on.
I mean,
No? You don't sing with me. You don't dance with me.
no, I mean, I will sing and dance, but I mean, physical, I mean, look, for me, okay, when it comes to a girl, right? Okay, the most important thing for me is how the person thinks.
Aw, you're
can't-
so full of shit.
No, I swear to God, that's the most important thing. It's how they think and how they carry themselves. That's the most important thing for me. How they carry themselves, not carry themselves literally like what shoes they're wearing. Yeah, I mean it's how they carry themselves in society.
Yeah.
In
So
public.
so when you are like walking into a party, you are looking at to see how people's carrying themselves. There's a physical component to
Of course,
party.
there's a physical component.
that's what I'm saying.
It's not like. Of course, you have to be attracted to that person physically. But the point is, many of the girls that I've been attracted to in growing up were not the prettiest girls in the room.
Okay.
But for me, it's the way they treat people, it's the way they act with people. Those are the kind of things that are important. You can have a very pretty girl, a beautiful girl, but she doesn't have any of those attributes. That's not
You're
the
not
first
being
thing.
fun. I wanted to do something fun.
Deal breakers, physical deal breakers. I'm not big on like jewelry, nose jewelry, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Like nose rings and
Nose rings,
piercings and stuff like
yeah.
that. Okay. Tattoos?
I mean, I'm not. People that go over, I'd be like, no.
You're too diplomatic. You have to be mean, a little bit mean.
I mean,
Okay, I don't like guys that are super buff like that. They're like muscle and muscle and muscle and muscle. I find that a little bit freaky. And I don't like guys that are too small because I'm bigger.
okay.
Not taller, I'm bigger. I'm wider. Big boobs? Everyone likes big boobs.
I mean, no, it doesn't bother me.
Medium-sized boobs.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, like I said, the first
Small
thing I look
waist.
at, smile. I mean, no, that's the things I like, the deal makers.
Deal makers.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. Yeah. I mean,
How about if they have really bad teeth with gaps and stuff?
yeah, that's
Deal
a deal breaker.
Any preference eye color?
Preferences, again, I'm more of a light eye color, light eyes as in blue, greens, etc.
Like everyone that has brown eyes and that comes from a colonized
Yeah.
country.
I don't know what that means, but anyway, those are preferences. Again, we all have preferences, but when we go with deal breakers, somebody that doesn't look after themselves, doesn't look after themselves.
Yeah, that like messy, boyish.
But no, it doesn't bother me if they're boyish or girlish. I mean,
Okay.
preferably get more girlish, but you know, like I'm not big on. Okay, I'm going to the store and I have to like dress up in heels and stuff to go there, or I have to do this. I mean, I've known people that do that. I can't go to go and get some milk unless I dress up and look good. I just want somebody to put the hood on and go to the store, get the milk, and come back.
Okay.
Easy.
So
peasy,
deal
lemon squeezy.
breaker is someone that needs so much time to get ready and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
what else?
you want a cup of tea. You don't want to take 2 hours.
Okay. What else?
I mean, I'm probably going to be shot by a lot of people, but that's just what I want.
What I really, really want.
Yeah,
So show me what you want. What you really, really
That's it,
want.
really.
I wanna.
It's not so complicated.
Gosh, we're not singing this time around. Oh, another deal breaker. Someone with no dreams. People with no dreams are deal breakers for me. Like people that are like, okay, so where do you see yourself in like 5? And that goes even for friends. Like when I meet people that you ask them like, so like plans for the future, and they're like, nah, I'm alright. And I'm like, because, but I think in romantic relationships more because I'm not ambitious. Maybe I'm ambitious. I'm a dreamer. I like to
When you say
think-
people with no dreams, what do you mean?
I like.
Everybody has a dream.
No, some people really don't give a fuck.
When you say dreams, though, what do you mean? Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, if you ask me, where do I see, if I have a preferred, and this is my work, what I do with my clients is that we align, we create a preferred outcome, and then we work really hard into getting them, right? So if you say to me, okay, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I can tell you an exact map of what I would love to be doing, and that I connect with that every day with meditation, and I try to journal around that, and this is what is keeping me going.
And that's what gives you purpose.
Yeah, but some people, you ask them, so do you like your work? No, I don't like my work. So are you trying to change it, or like, what is your next? Well, it pays well. I don't care. Like people like that, that's not my people. My people is people that are going to be like, okay, so I'm not in an ideal situation right now, but I want to do this, and I have this dream, and I think I can do this. Doers. Yes, people. Yes, people. People that, so basically.
Not yes, people.
Yes, people. I love
not,
yes people.
Not yes, people.
Yeah.
No, not like, people need to be able to say no too.
No, but you're misinterpreted. When I say yes people, it's people that when you say, when you have a challenge, they're going to go, let's do it. That's what I mean when I say yes people.
Okay, so they don't shy from difficult challenges.
Yes.
Or trying to get...
So a deal breaker for me will be no people. People that are like, oh, no, well, no.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Because I'm always growing, and another deal breaker. People that says that personal growth is bullshit. Because basically you're saying my career is bullshit.
Yeah. I had once somebody sit me down, and despite all the positive, or maybe I need to get close to the mic. Yeah, despite all the positive feedback I was getting in my coaching journey, this one individual who was meant to be the person that, one looked up to for guidance and support, sat me down and said, do you know what? You better stick to your day job, right? Now I was just like shocked that the person that I was developing all my plans and programs and all sorts of things for would sit me down and say, better stick to your... That same person tried to sabotage me joining sort of like a board, a charity, the board of trustees, etc. Just because, actually, to be honest, I don't know, but there was nothing to say that I wasn't capable or supported by many people. That was like the one person that could stop me from doing so. And until this day, I don't actually know why that person did that. And I...
So another deal breaker for you will be unsupport. People that is unsupportive.
Yeah, people who will intentionally try to sabotage yourself.
But that's mean people.
Rather than have, mean people then. But, rather than have a conversation with you and say, look, I don't think this is, have a positive conversation. This is my opinion about what I think about this or what I think about that. Just to say things like, oh, you know what, just better stick to your day job.
That's such an asshole.
Because, but I have my interpretation of all of that. But yeah, bosses that say, you know what, you'll never make it, or teachers that will say you'll never amount to anything.
But those are shit teachers and shit leaders, basically.
Yeah, but you want to, unfortunately, in some cases, you don't have the choice.
And sometimes you even have that in couples. Like I know couples that one of them will be a dreamer like me, and then the other one will be like, oh, come on. And that to me is a huge deal breaker for me. So another deal breaker, face tattoos.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of face tattoos.
There you go.
Do you consider tattooed eyebrows, face tattoo?
No, well, some of them look a little bit weird. I'm not a fan of, like, I have one tattoo, and I'm gonna get a couple more, but not in my face.
Sure. Anything that's showing needs to be.
Well, because I'm a mom, I have a tattoo here.
Yeah,
but it's very small.
Okay.
I have had that for like 15 years. Can you believe it? I'm gonna get one here.
I've only known you for less than a year, so
I'm gonna get another one here.
No.
But anyway, face tattoos. Yesterday I saw on Instagram this thing that says like things that you find hot in a guy. I'm not asking you those, but I sent it to all my friends. And it was so interesting how for some people, one of the qualities will be like super sexy, and for others we were like, ew, that's douchey. Like the cap on the back, like the backwards cap. One of my best friends and me were like, that's douchey. And another one was like, oh my God, that's so hot. So isn't it funny how deal breakers and like things that we have find...
It's all preferences.
Right?
It's all personal preferences.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's really weird.
We are weird creatures.
No, I mean, human being, honestly, look, exactly how you summarize it all the time. You do you, boo. Right?
I say that so much.
Yeah, you say that a lot.
I say that
now
so
I've
much.
started saying it is that
You do
you
you, boo.
need to do you. Now, if you have a dream, or if you have something that you're thinking of, your ideal scenario in life, the ideal person you want to be with, in order to achieve those things, you need to set yourself your boundaries.
Yeah.
Once you set yourself your boundaries, that gives you a framework within to work with people, work with new companies, work with meeting people to be in a relationship with, work with your circle of friends. You know, there are reasons why people cut people out of their life is because they don't feel that they bring to them what they want in their life. I mean, you know, sometimes you might be in a position where you're like, oh, I don't really know why that person stopped talking to me, or why. I mean, I've got people in Qatar that we were friends, we were very good friends, and all of a sudden they just cut contact. They could be going through something, and I might not be the person that they need at that point in time, and therefore they stop contacting me. But they're negative on you, and you just don't want them in your life, so you cut them out of your life.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
there's boundaries.
That can be anything. That can be in your wardrobe. I mean, I'm going through my wardrobe at the moment because I've just moved apartments, and I'm going through a lot of stuff and thinking, this piece of clothing does not make me happy when I put it on.
Oh my God, I love that.
I put it on because I have nothing else to wear.
Yeah.
It does not make me happy.
Yeah, and you need to open space for new stuff to come in.
And I'm getting rid of all the stuff
I love that.
I put on that doesn't make me happy.
I do the same. I did that wardrobe thing a few months ago, and I haven't done it again because I gained weight during COVID. So right now I'm just sticking with everything until I go back to my normal weight, and then I'll see. But I did that with books because I have a bunch of books for psychology because I was going to study psychology, and then I decided that I didn't want to go up on a master's program right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get rid of all these books. And it's daunting, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that if you do the same, even, I'm not saying with friends because friends are not things, but when you start to ponder why are you hanging out? Why are you hanging out with the people that you're hanging out with? Like I know in my 11 years in Qatar, I have gone from different groups of friends, especially because I came in single. Then I met my then fiance. Then we got married. Then we have children. Then now we're getting a divorce. And I have changed a lot through that. And as I have changed, my circle of friends have changed too. Yeah. So sometimes, as I was saying, the deal breakers and the boundaries are not meant to be like, oh, you have to cut all the people that doesn't align with you, but you have to hang out with people, use clothes, support brands, and love people that are aligned with where you are going. And sometimes that changes, you know? Like right now, I am noticing that a lot of the people that I like to hang out with are first very physically active because I am much more physically active. And second, are like very unconventional. They're not the typical people that I used to hang out with when I came back to Qatar 7 years ago, that I was all about mommyhood and everything was around being a mom.
So why did you decide to do the podcast with me?
Do you want the real reason or you want the polite reason?
Don't tell me you're trying to help me.
No. Why would? Well, yeah, obviously I can.
Okay, what was the real reason? I mean, it's fine.
Well, when we first started talking, I thought you were cute. I was like, what?
Oh, don't lie.
Why would I lie?
So is this the only reason we're doing the podcast?
No, that's when we started talking. No, when we started talking, I thought, oh.
Okay, hold on a second. When you first met me...
I thought you were cute.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you are cute.
In what way? This is not awkward at all. Let's just do it.
No, that's not awkward at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
You are very smart. So that's something I knew from the moment that I met you, because you were fucking teasing me relentlessly on that werewolf thing.
Okay.
You did a really good werewolf, which means that you are very good at, like, your brain goes really, really well. So
okay.
you're very smart. You were attractive. I find you attractive.
Thank you very much.
You're very tall. I like tall people.
Yep.
Have you met my ex-husband? I like tall people.
Okay.
And I don't know, I felt like comfortable with you. Like we met and automatically you started teasing me and we started talking and stuff. So I thought you were cute. And then we met a couple more times on game night. And then you contact me. Then we talk about, we randomly start talking about on Instagram.
No, it was something you posted on
yes, it was something
on your thing.
But the way that you opened up to me, you were so honest and you were so mature and honest and fun and smart. And I was like, oh, look, he's a really good guy. So I thought, well, if a podcast doesn't come out of this, at least I might have a date. So that was how it all started.
Okay.
And then we started, and then we sat down in
Season 2,
Mocha
episode
Arabia.
1.
And then we sat down in Mocarabia for like 55 hours, and it was so easy to talk. And
5
we have
hours.
5 hours.
Yeah.
And a bunch of cookies, so many cookies.
Which you had none of.
Which have none.
I ate all of them, but anyway,
All
no
of
problem.
them. And then we started talking, and I realized that I was right when I met you the first time, that you were smart, that you were cute, that you were super sweet, that you were cared, that you wanted to help others. And we have so many points in common, like being coaches and the way you saw the possibilities of this podcast moving forward. So there were no deal breakers.
So it kind of made sense.
They were deal makers, yeah. And then when we started talking about it, it was like, yeah, well, and then we discovered that you were like 30 May, I was 30 August, and then our phone numbers were similar. 30 March, I'm sorry. Yeah, March, number 3.
Same.
Yeah,
Okay.
33. Yeah, and I'm 38. Yeah, okay. So we started talking, and there were so many points of connection.
So there's more positive stuff that could have come out of it, and you saw something positive that could come out of it.
And you were really honest.
And we aligned.
Yeah.
And that's why you allowed me into your life.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And then I imposed myself horrendously into yours, because now I'm like, you're stuck with me.
Yeah.
forever.
No, and that's cool. But that's the thing. You need to have people in your life that you feel that you can achieve something with, or
But also you're a yes person, because one of the things that I love about you is that you are so, okay, let's do it. Even when you might arrive late or whatever, when you support me, you have always supported me so wholeheartedly, which is a deal maker for me. Like when I told you there's this marathon for the marathon rowing.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna do it with me, and you were like, fine. And not only did you do it, is that you do it after you went cycling, and after that, you were like coaching us all when we were dying, because it was like 5 hours of rowing outside, and it was horrendously.
Yeah.
But we did it, so I do So that was why I started doing a podcast. Now, why did you ask me to do a podcast with you? That's the question.
Did I ask you to do it with me, or did you say we can do it together?
No, you said we talk.
No, okay. So here's the thing. There's 2 reasons for it. I think, first of all, the whole word of podcasting was a bit like, I didn't even know that you had like a radio, like audio visual background. I had no idea. But anyway, I thought it would be very valuable to have somebody who, doing a podcast by yourself. First of all, I don't like doing things by myself. I could easily just, on Instagram, I could be like, hey guys, today I'm Hatz and blah, blah. I don't have that, let's say capability or wish to do something by myself. So I prefer to do things in groups. So when I saw that we were having a chat about sort of the things that I went through, and you said, and you started giving me some things to think about, I thought it would be great to do something with you, because you also have like a platform where you're discussing very much similar things and how to overcome them, So in a way, I thought, this is a positive person. This is a person that is passionate about what they do. Very important to be passionate about what you do, regardless of what it is, whether you're baking a cake or whether you're, running a program or running your own business.
Yeah.
And I thought that's the kind of person I need to align myself with. At that time, I was in a very sort of bad place, and I'd lost all passion for anything. So I was like, shit, if I don't align myself with passionate people quickly, I'm going to slip into this black hole, of like doom and gloom, and I'm just going to be, and I still feel that sort of like slight burden on me. But as people may see on the podcast or on the videos, I'm slowly sort of coming out of that. And that's part of a healing journey as well. Now, is it to say that once I'm healed, I'll be like, thanks very much, Anahi. It was a pleasure knowing you? 100% not, because I'm not that sort of person that uses people and spits them out later.
Okay.
People who have been a part of my life, who have been positive in my life, I keep in touch with wherever I am in the world. I try my best within reason to keep in touch with everybody, or every so often just to send a message and say, how are you doing? I haven't forgotten about you. And we all get busy in life.
Yeah.
Everybody gets busy in life. But every now and then, this is why I try to do every now and then, I go through all my WhatsApp messages from the bottom up, and I start looking at the people that I've been in touch with and say, hey, just saying hi, just passing through, I hope you're okay. And then some people are just shocked, like, oh my God, I can't believe this person is even thinking about me, or that kind of stuff. But you can only humanly do so much. So I will never not stay in touch with you, 100%.
Plus, now that you live next to my gym, you're pretty much screwed, because I know what you do.
Yeah, you're definitely not getting any access cards or keys. Okay.
I found that really offensive.
You let me know if you think I should just hand over my wallet to Anahi and say, hey,
not my wallet, not your wallet.
Help yourself to my money, my access card, my house, my tea, my coffee, anytime, my showers, my washing machine. That's a bit too much.
I didn't say anything about the washing machine or the coffee and the tea. No, just the shower.
You're welcome around anytime. Mi casa es su casa.
Muy bien. Yeah, okay. So next episodes, we're going to be actually having a really important guest. We're going to have Dr. Monica Mancilla from the Heart Approach, talking about love and relationships in the swiping culture. So we're going to be talking about how do you find and keep real love, apps, and the obsession, she called him man hunger and women hunger, that is making everyone go right and left.
I really think they should develop an app for burgers, just like, yeah, I like that one, don't like that one, I like that one. And as soon as you match...
can you imagine that? It's like they don't show you the person, they just show you the favorite food.
Yeah.
And if you match, then you can talk about the food. Oh, that is the app that I need.
You never know. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time for more about love and other stuff in Millennial Life.
Gen 80 Talks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna, really, really, really wanna zig. Hello, lovely people. How are we all today? I just wanted to say that I think I sound a bit like Anahi. Hello, everybody. My name is Anahi, mi amor.
Is that how I sound in your mind?
That's how you sound in my face? No, it's like, hello, mi amor. You do you, boo. You do you, boo. Let's just check. Working or not?